Well, good morning, guys, and I find myself once again back at Sewell Motorcoach here in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Doug had me pick up a 2020 Country Star from National Indoor there in Phoenix and do an extended test drive while I did an inspection on it, bringing it back to Harrodsburg, Kentucky. And while I'm waiting for my ride home, I looked around and noticed that Doug had a lot of nice inventory here, and he gave me carte blanche a video and inspection on any RV that he has in stock here. And while this 2013 Dutch Star with a tag axle that's 43 feet long with its own all aluminum custom ATC car hauler trailer with a beautiful matching paint scheme on it, might be a compelling video, I don't want to do that one. In fact, I feel like I've shown you enough Newmars that I don't need to show you this 2019 Mountain Air or this 2018 Dutch Star. Even though, yes, they are both very beautiful. Now, it might be fun to compare a 2014 Tiffin Allegro bus to its 2017 contemporary counterpart, this 2017 Tiffin Allegro Bay, or we could go with everybody's favorite, a Prevost bus conversion, which is just as elegant on the inside and the outside as its namesake says. And one of the few bus conversions I've seen with a 360 camera on it, and the only bus conversion I've seen with a stainless steel ladder on the back, which you would use to climb up to the roof to find this custom-made, yacht-inspired observation and sun deck, built better than any roof deck I've seen on an RV or motor coach. But I don't want to show you that either. Often in my comment section, which I do read and try to respond to every comment that I can, I'm told that as much as people do like watching these videos about these unattainable RVs and motor coaches, sometimes it might be nice to see something reasonable and affordable that more people could possibly afford to buy. But I don't want to show you this 2002 Expedition. But it is a Fleetwood I want to show you guys, and it's the nicest representation of a high quality, well-built RV I've seen recently. That I think not only proves the point that RVs might have been made a little bit better about 20 years ago, but also if you take care of them, they're going to last a long time too. So this is a 1999 Pacero Vision from Fleetwood. It's built on the Ford Motorhome Class A chassis and is equipped with a very solid Triton V10 gasoline engine. It sounds wonderful and only has 77,000 miles on it. So why would I choose this 1999 Pacero to show you guys over everything else Doug has here at Sewell Motorcoach here in Harrodsburg, Kentucky? Well, one, it's in spectacular, nearly showroom condition. It's almost completely original, but it also illustrates how well these Fleetwoods were built in 1999. But it also displays the importance of pride of ownership when it comes to an RV. Now, even though this is a Class A gas motorhome, even at the time, Paceros were very well built and apportioned with a lot of equipment and accessories that you probably wouldn't expect to find on a motorhome of this era. And there really is so much I want to show you guys that is on this RV that I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget to show you half of the things I want to show you. But of course, because we're doing this video on my channel, we're going to go ahead and start on the roof. And it has its original ladder in impeccable condition, and I gotta believe this aluminum's thicker than the standard RV ladder of today. Now this is a rubber EPDM roof on here, and I want to point out two things. Okay, maybe three things. First, this roof feels stronger and more structural than most fiberglass roofs that I've been on in the last 20 years. And it's a rubber roof. Secondly, this is still the original rubber roof membrane. It's 26 years old now, right? Not only is it not bubbling anywhere like you'd see on all modern RVs using a rubber membrane, but it's not torn at the radiuses on either side, and the metal radiuses right here aren't dented anywhere. Now, undoubtedly, you should be able to see that there is staining going on this rubber roof. And if I do rub my hand over the top of it, it will come out with some white dust on it, but that's normal from a rubber roof. Sure, this thing's probably got to only have a few more years left on it. Besides some of that staining, the actual black rubber membrane, isn't exposed anywhere. It hasn't worn out yet. After a good, solid, and thorough cleaning, this rubber roof would look almost brand new still. And I think you could get away with coating it to give you another 5 years before you even had to think about replacing it. And there's no rotten spots you have to worry about on the deck below it. Now, the third thing I want to show you is that this is all the original lap sealant on the roof. This is the original sewer vents on the roof with the original lap sealant. Sure, it's been touched up, probably because somebody took this cap off at some point or put a new one on. But this is still the original skylight that's on the roof with the original lap sealant that's on the roof. And I know that because I don't see any telltale signs of staining from any different sealant on here. But you can also tell by the side gutter molding right here, it still has the original factory rivets holding it down, and all the original sealant is still intact. And I think proves my point that a well-built, well-maintained RV can last nearly forever. And that Dicor self-leveling lap sealant is a good sealant. You shouldn't have to keep adding more and more to it or replacing it with other alternatives. It is a good sealant if the factory builds everything correctly the first time. But this does also prove that maintenance is important. At some point, somebody has taken up this middle section of the molding right here and had to reinstall it again and reseal it. They've updated the normal Batwing TV antenna, likely because the aluminum arms were bent or broken. They've updated and replaced the roof AC covers, and this is probably still the original AC. Same in the back right here. These vent covers did not come from the factory, so they did add those. And I also know, because I saw underneath, the original vents have been changed out and upgraded to a fantastic vent. And I kind of feel bad that I've glossed over the fact that, speaking of gloss, there's still a nice gloss finish on this fiberglass front cap and the fiberglass rear cap right here. In fact, if we're talking about the paint on the exterior, it doesn't look much worse than it did when it came out the factory line. The decals up here aren't cracking and peeling. And unbelievably, even though this is 25 years old, the only real damage to the body paint that I see is just some rock chips on the front bumper. On most modern RVs, I find the roof radius paint is already peeling after 2 years. I also think it's very important to note that basement storage was just starting to become a thing in 1999. By that I mean the bus style basement storage compartments down below. But look at this. This is all thick, solid aluminum that's basically seamless with no exposed hardware on the exterior face. And even the inside panel is thick aluminum sheet. It's not carpeted, it's not Phylon or fiberglass or foam or plastic, and it's not delaminating like you see on a lot of luxury new RVs. Fleetwood RV, which of course is now Rev Group, also developed the plastic compartment liners with their own drain holes, which makes it very easy to hose out and clean these compartments, which is a technology still being used today. I also love that they added window awnings to all the windows on the RV, but it also allows me to point out this. There's no slide outs on this RV, and there's no delamination in the sidewalls on either side. So without slide outs, it's very easy to maintain. And even though it's 25, 26 years old, the furnace, the refrigerator, the ACs, and the water heater can easily be replaced with anything modern. Heck, it even has 4-point hydraulic leveling jacks on it, which at the time, Fleetwood luxury diesel pushers only used 3 jacks or tripod leveling. I like the 4 better. It even has dock lights back here on the side. Even though the rear tires are from 2017, the front tires here are only about a year old. But right above there is one of my favorite features on an RV, both as a technician and an RV owner, a driver's entrance door. There really are not enough driver's side doors on RVs. It also has something I like that you've already seen. It has a mid-coach entry door, which means the floor plan inside feels much more residential, makes living in an RV campground or park a lot more enjoyable rather than have to walk to the very front of the RV. But as a driver, it can also reduce the amount of arguments you might have with your navigator passenger, having to stand up or get their legs out of the way every single time you go in and out of the RV. It happens sometimes. I'm sorry. Now I'm just as happy and pleased to show you the inside of this beautiful RV, but I do want to get it away from the road because that road traffic is very loud. So let's see if I can master my off-roading skills here in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Now, unfortunately, I do have to point out that this does not have 50 amp service, but 30 amp, which was much more common in 1999. Now, there are workarounds to get a 50 amp or similar to 50 amp in it, since it does have a 50 amp capable gas generator right here too. It always seemed weird to me that the generators had more capacity than the shore power. You can't win at everything sometimes. So we'll go ahead and start the inside tour where I'll try to point out both the good and the bad that I see. The most obvious bad is that there is carpet in the living room area and it is a little bit stained right here. But because there is no slide out, it's going to be a very easy flooring to replace. Now the second most important thing to do is see the condition of the driver's and passenger seat. And I don't understand how the factories could build seats out of material that didn't fall apart 26 years ago. But now modern ones are hard pressed to make it 5 years. Now the driver's compartment is as vintage as it's gonna get. You know I love rocker switches. Those are still available and in good repair. It's still original with the original cassette dash radio in there. That's one of the first things I would update. And even the dash AC is blowing cold. Now when it comes to a cool feature and maybe something you should upgrade, remember this is 1999. Tube TVs were still a thing, flat screen TVs weren't. But check out this cool feature that Fleetwood came up with. Now on their luxury American series, this was powered, but you pull this handle right there, and that raises the TV up to a proper height for when you're sitting down watching TV. What would you do with that TV if you bought this RV? I have seen people eliminate that and put one of those electric fireplaces right there, and it works pretty well. Now as forward thinking as a pop-up TV was, I like this feature, and this is really important for mobile or remote work now, to have a keyboard tray for a laptop, and it still has a way to pull out to the passenger right there. You don't even get a feature like that on most RVs anymore. Now, a bad feature is going to be, this is dual pane windows, but there is some moisture in the passenger's window. That's only in the slider, not in the stationary glass panes above or next to it. Now, that's not all the cool features. This was really common in the day to have a little slide up tabletop work center for the recliner passenger barrel chair. I might keep the table. The recliner, I'd probably want to go ahead and update or remove completely. I think my parents' couch had the exact same pattern on it in 1999. And speaking of fabric and patterns, yes, they did go very blue with the 90s blue and floral. But that is very easy to update to, should you want to. Because even though the sofa is in wonderful condition and turns into a bed pretty easily, I'd probably update that thing too. But can you imagine 25 years old, no wear on this sofa? And just so you think I'm not hiding any stains or damage on the armrest, look at that. Same thing over here on this recliner. That's not hiding anything. You got to be careful with some RV dealers. Now when it comes to the lighting, these are all still the original incandescent bulbs. You can get an LED replacement for all of these, or you can update the lighting very easily. Now the cabinets themselves are engineered lumber. The cabinet doors are solid wood, and it is a white oak or red oak, but it has been stained so it doesn't have that 90s oak feel to it. Now the dinette booth is in just as good a shape as the sofa. I'm never really a big fan of dinette booths, so I would probably redesign this. Even though this is laminate, the kitchen countertop is real Corian. So this is a solid surface material, has that marble veining in it. This has a under countertop mounted stainless steel sink, so it's easy to clean. The countertop. Going further back here, this is a built-in microwave, but it is a convection oven microwave. You're still not getting all of those on entry-level RVs in a modern RV. And a 3-burner propane stovetop with the pretty standard propane oven down below, except this is a lot bigger than a modern one. Now that I got you looking at the floor here in the galley, solid oak wood floors in great condition. We're not hiding anything there. But moving further back, RV refrigerator, very standard Dometic 2-way refrigerator. They're still making these today. But check out this cool feature for the pantry. You have to get a luxury Class A diesel pusher for a slide-out pantry like that now. And it still latches. This is pretty common for the day. Because remember, there's no slide-outs in the front right here. We just have a long hallway with the wardrobe and the closet right here for storage, and the full-length mirrors on both doors. And this solid wood hinge door becomes the partition door from the living room to the bathroom area right here. Now, even though this is a little bit smaller bathroom over here, they did incorporate a towel rack into the door. And believe it or not, these braces on the side of it add a lot of strength to the door to keep it from bowing. Manufacturers don't do that anymore. Down here on the floor, just vinyl, rolled vinyl flooring. It has a standard pedestal for the porcelain, a gravity toilet on here. This one's still being made. You can still get it, or you can update it if you wanted to. But even though this is a smaller bathroom, it still has a little bit of charm to it, including this Space Maker Hideaway radio. I remember those. So far, the only thing I'm kind of disappointed in is this is a laminate countertop with a Corian edge banding and backsplash and a drop-in plastic sink. This shower is also a bathtub. Really not so much for sitting on this. It is plastic ABS. So you don't want to put too much weight on that. And it has the standard ABS shower surround, but the unstandard surround that comes all the way to the ceiling, which means we don't have to worry about the ceiling fabric getting stained or having mildew on it. It's very easy to clean too. Undoubtedly, it is a pretty big step up. So about a foot for sure. And I'm 6 foot. Whew. Might want to duck a little bit, but once I'm in here, it's not too unreasonable as a shower. It has the bifold accordion shower door in it, and it's a decent sized one. Though for me, I'd probably have to stretch to get the shower head over my head. But some people are looking for a bathtub. It's not very common to find in an RV anymore. Now exiting the shower, again, I'm 6 foot tall, and woo, I still want to duck my head a little bit, just a little bit. So, a small little bathroom, but very functional and easy to clean. Now, heading towards the bedroom right here is probably one of the better features. This is a north-south facing queen-size bed. Theoretically, you could probably get a little bit bigger bed in here because there is some space on the side. But don't forget, there's no slide-outs in the bedroom either. So the entire bedroom is accessible whether in storage or driving down the road. Now, while there is a little bit of storage underneath the bed right here, it's important that you don't think that I told you to sleep in bed while you're driving down the road. I didn't tell you to do that. Don't do that. Otherwise, we have an imitation oak panel wainscoting. The wallpaper and walls are in good shape. I'm not seeing any sort of water leak or water damage or rot on either one of the exterior walls, especially underneath the window right here. And if we take a look up at the ceiling, I'm not seeing any telltale signs of leak on that ozite fabric that you would normally see showing that there's a water leak. Now this does have a bedroom TV mounted on the ceiling over there in the corner. This one wouldn't be too difficult to get rid of all of this right here and put a wall-mounted TV right there, which would help out when you're walking around. You don't have to worry about hitting your shoulder on the TV anymore. Now, even though we were closing out the 90s in 1999, it still wouldn't have been the 90s without more floral print, oak, and of course, beveled mirrors. Hello. Though combined, this overall look above the bed does remind me of Ford Travel of the era. But it wouldn't be a Fleetwood without a toe kick doorstop down there. And this is still a solid wood pocket door they're using as a divider door between the bedroom and the bathroom. For me, I would say the biggest limitation that you should be aware of is this does have the IntelliTech thermostat control for the 2 roof ACs and the furnace. Because it has 2 ACs but only 30 amp service, if you try to run both of them at the same time when you're plugged in, it will shed one of the ACs. This system is still pretty reliable, but it can be updated and worked around if you do decide to do that. Remember, in the generator mode, you can run both ACs. It doesn't shed like that. But that was a 1999 Pace Aero Vision from Fleetwood, Class A gas motorhome. I kind of like it. Not only is it a beautiful time capsule that reminds me of when I first started in the industry in 1999, but it's obviously been lovingly maintained like a classic vehicle over the years. And I think Doug's only asking $29,000 for it. What do you guys think? Was that the one I should have showed you, or should I showed you something else? Because it's too late now. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Bye. But that was the 1990. What do you guys think? It's a good thing I moved the RV all the way over here to get rid of the road noise. It's like they know.